of my house! I never want to see you here again.
Yes, live my son's life. You're nothing but a burden. Please, where will I go?
I don't care. Leave!
The night Chiamaka was thrown out of her husband's house, heavy rain was falling. She was 7 months pregnant, hungry, weak, and carrying nothing but a small bag of clothes. As she stood outside the gate crying, her husband looked at her with cold eyes. He didn't care where she would sleep. He didn't care that she was carrying his child. And he certainly didn't care that she had nowhere to go. What he didn't know was that the same woman he threw away would one day become the answer to his biggest problem. When Chiamaka married Kelvin, she believed she had found her forever. The wedding was beautiful. Friends danced. Family celebrated. Everyone called them a perfect couple. But only a few months after the wedding, everything changed. Kelvin stopped showing affection, stopped caring, stopped pretending. Every morning before leaving for work, he would find something to complain about. Why is the food too salty? Why is the house dusty? What exactly do you do all day? Chiamaka would apologize, even when she had done nothing wrong. When she discovered she was pregnant, she expected things to improve. Instead, they became worse. Despite her growing stomach, she did all the chores. She washed clothes by hand, cooked every meal, cleaned every room, fetched water when necessary, and took care of herself. Alone. Meanwhile, Kelvin spent more time with his secretary, Anita. Late nights became normal. Weekend meetings became excuses. The distance between husband and wife grew larger every day. One afternoon, Kelvin's mother moved in. At first, Chiamaka was happy. She thought she would finally have support. Instead, she gained another enemy. Look at the floor. Look at this soup. You call yourself a wife? Nothing she did was ever good enough. The old woman criticized everything, and Kelvin always sided with his mother. Always. One evening, Kelvin returned home angry. His mother had spent the entire day complaining about Chiamaka. Without listening to her side of the story, Kelvin exploded. Get out. Chiamaka stared at him. What? I said get out of my house. His mother nodded approvingly. Maybe that will teach her. Tears filled Chiamaka's eyes. I'm carrying your child. Kelvin looked away. I don't care. Those words shattered her heart. That night, she slept under a bus stop. Rain soaked her clothes. Mosquitoes attacked her skin. Her stomach growled with hunger. For the first time in her life, she felt completely alone. Several people passed. Nobody helped. Some looked away. Others laughed. By morning, she was weak. Then fate intervened. A black SUV stopped nearby. A man stepped out. His name was David. He looked at the pregnant woman sitting on the roadside. Something about her condition touched his heart. Madame, are you okay? Chiamaka tried to smile. I'm fine. She wasn't. David knew it. After listening to her story, he made a decision. Come with me. For the first time in weeks, someone showed her kindness. And that single act would change both their lives forever. David gave her a comfortable room, made sure she ate properly, took her to hospital appointments, and treated her with respect. Not once did he ask for anything in return. For the first time in months, Chiamaka felt safe. Meanwhile, back at Kelvin's house, his new life was beginning. And so were his problems. Only 2 weeks after Chiamaka was thrown out, Kelvin moved Anita into the house, the same secretary he had been secretly seeing for months. Anita arrived with 6 suitcases, expensive wigs, designer clothes, perfumes, shoes. Kelvin's mother was excited. This is the kind of woman my son deserves. Anita smiled, but the smile did not last long. The very next morning, Kelvin shouted from the living room, Anita, where's my breakfast? Anita didn't even look up from her phone. Kitchen. I asked where my breakfast is. I heard you. Kelvin frowned. So where is it? Anita looked at him. Cook it. The entire room went silent. Even Kelvin's mother nearly dropped her cup. For months, Kelvin had compared Chiamaka to Anita. Now he was learning the truth. Anita couldn't cook, didn't want to clean, didn't wash clothes, didn't respect anyone. Every day became an argument. One morning, Kelvin complained. This house is dirty. Anita laughed. Then clean it. Kelvin stared at her. Chiamaka never talked to me like this. Anita stood up. Then go and find Chiamaka. And remember, I am not your former wife. For the first time, Kelvin missed the woman he had mistreated. Meanwhile, Chiamaka's life was changing. David took her to every hospital appointment, bought baby clothes, prepared a nursery, and treated her like family. One rainy evening, labor pains started. David rushed her to the hospital. Hours later, a loud cry filled the room. A healthy baby boy had arrived. When David carried the child, tears filled his eyes. Chiamaka smiled. For the first time in a long time, she felt genuinely happy. Months passed. David helped Chiamaka secure a job at one of his companies. She worked hard, learned quickly, and impressed everyone. Soon she was promoted, then promoted again. Her confidence returned. The woman who once slept under a bus stop was rebuilding her life. Back at Kelvin's house, things were falling apart. Anita spent money carelessly. Luxury bags, expensive vacations, costly wigs, designer shoes. Kelvin tried to keep up, but his salary could no longer cover her lifestyle. Every month brought new debts. Every month brought new arguments. Then disaster struck.